Hair's all screwed up. I don't care. What's up, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and welcome to the Week in Preview. Things looking a little different this week, don't you think? Yeah, I have to say once again, special thanks to Jaegermonster720, who has submitted not only that new intro for the Week in Preview that we instituted last week, but now this week we're introducing new artwork for the show completely, as you can see. And I like it. I think it's refreshing to have something different. It would be nice if I do this more often rather than once every 4 years. You know what I mean? So here we go. And the Week in Preview, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday night. It is Sunday, January 18th, 2015. And I have to say this because now I am a Washington State native. I have to say congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks American football team who won their big qualifying game today. I think it's their division title. And they'll be going on to either face the New England Patriots or the Colts, Indianapolis Colts, in a couple weeks at the Super Bowl. I normally don't mention sports, but of course now I have to jump on the huge fanboy fan wagon and say, go Seahawks. No, I don't actually. It's kind of funny. I really could care less. But everywhere you go here, everyone wearing Seahawks jerseys. We go grocery shopping. Everyone that works at the grocery store is wearing Seahawks. You go to the mall, everyone's wearing Seahawks. It's out of control. But just worth throwing that out there, all right? So welcome to the Week in Preview. I've got a ton of stuff to talk about this week because, yes, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in over 2 months, this week in particular, we finally have some new release titles that I'll be playing. Yes, finally, right? A refreshing thing. We're going to have the conclusion of a long ongoing playthrough, the possible continuation of another playthrough. We're going to hopefully have the final year-end series, which I'm fingers crossed because I don't know how it's going to go, and I'll explain about that in a moment. I've got some unavoidable time off, let's put it that way, that I need to take for at least one day this week, which I'll explain to you as well. And if anything, the biggest thing about this is that I need your feedback. This is like feedback required week. We're going to have an interactive poll where you can vote on what game I play first this week. We're going to have a thread where you can post up questions for Ask the King, which comes back after an almost 3-month hiatus next week. And I need your suggestions for Patreon, all right? So there's lots of stuff going on. Let me just very briefly summarize, and then I'll answer some common questions, and then we're going to go into this week's schedule, okay? So to summarize what happened this past week, basically I continued with my playthroughs of Dragon Age Inquisition, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and Grand Theft Auto 5, the first-person shooter, as well as I did my entire top 10 best games of 2014 year-end series, plus I had tons of honorable mentions on there, okay? So it was awesome because I was able to do that finally, and people love my year-end series, and they were like, wow, finally after all this, you know, it's late in January, but Phil finally got to mention his games of the year. It was controversial. There were tons of people who disagreed with me, but that's okay. It's cool that it sparks up discussion about it, and I think a lot of people watched it and said, wow, there's a few games in there that maybe I didn't expect, and maybe I'll be checking out those games, okay? So basically, it was good. It was a good thing, and I really enjoyed getting that series done this week, okay? There's a big change this week that I need to explain to everyone because people were like shocked. I explained it all on a pre-stream, and apparently some people didn't watch the pre-stream, and there was all this confusion this weekend, so allow me to explain it, okay? Here's the deal. Grand Theft Auto 5, the first-person shooter. I started playing this game a few weeks ago. When I say the first-person shooter, it's because I'm replaying Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PlayStation 4 with next-generation graphics and detail, all in first person. And I'll be honest, it's been a fun playthrough generally. Now, there's been some times when it's been a little bit of a grind. I found that it's a lot more difficult doing the driving in first person than it used to be in third person. But outside of that, I really enjoyed re-experiencing the game. But this week, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I got a little burnt out and a little frustrated. And the reason that happened was, here I am, I'm still playing Dragon Age Inquisition after 2 full months of playing this game on and off, rotating it with other ongoing playthroughs. I'm still playing Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, even though I'm near the end of that game. And it was Friday, and it was supposed to be the day that I played Grand Theft Auto 5 again. And I kind of, the night before, I said, do I really want to do this? Like, I'm about to do my Game of the Year awards and announce my Game of the Year, and I haven't even completed one of the games that's in the running because I've been so busy juggling projects. And I thought about it, and I was like, I want to play what I want to play. Why do I have to have a schedule where I definitely have to play something in a rotation? And I've been saying since the beginning of Grand Theft Auto 5 that it would be a playthrough that I would start, and I didn't know how far I were going it, depending on what was going on around here, and if I was really still enjoying the game. And I'm not disliking the game, but I wanted to play the other stuff more. So Grand Theft Auto 5 was temporarily taken out of the rotation so that we could focus on Kingdom Hearts 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition. And that's what we did for the past 2 to 3 days. I've only been playing those games. And tomorrow will also be Dragon Age Inquisition because we're in the end game now of both Dragon Age Inquisition and Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. So temporarily right now, Grand Theft Auto 5 has been taken out of my gameplay rotation. Being that there's new games coming out this week, I fully expect that it's going to be out of the rotation at least for a while until we get to some more slower time, probably coming up in February, okay? So for now, GTA 5 out of the rotation so I can focus on finishing two games and working on new stuff, all right? That's the 100% official explanation of what's going on, just so you understand, okay? So, GTA 5 on hiatus. Will come back at some point. I don't know when. I can tell you this. Worst case scenario, if I don't play Grand Theft Auto 5 at all, again, I will be playing it when heists are released online. A lot of people have been saying, are you going to play GTA Online again? Yes, when heists are released, I'm going to be playing GTA Online, and I'll get everyone involved in that. That's months away, though. From what they're saying, that's going to come out right before it comes out for PC, which it's not supposed to come out for PC until late March now. It got delayed. So, that's the deal with GTA 5, all right? Okay, another thing to explain. Couple weeks ago, I talked a little bit about this. I said Patreon. Patreon is a program by which people can pledge a certain amount of donation money to me. It's no way and or buts about it. It's donation money, okay? You can pledge a certain amount a month, similarly to how you used to be a paid sub back on Twitch TV, okay? And for that, you get something out of it. Now, I don't have to provide anything. I actually could just say, no, it's not that at all. You get nothing for it. But I've decided I am going to provide either perks or some kind of goals or something for this program. And I've been trying to figure out what would it be? What kind of things would people like for perks for this program? And I've had a thread on my forums for the past couple of weeks, thekingofhate.com, where I've had people suggesting things, all right? Now, the Patreon page has been live now for about a week and a half because basically Patreon said, oh, we're going to give you that URL, the dark side fill URL, but we need you to register immediately and put your page up immediately so that no other troll or whatever tries to take control of the page, so I did. Now, in the meantime, some people have taken it upon themselves to go over there and pledge, which is awesome. But some people are kind of upset and saying, well, Phil has a Patreon page now, but there's no perks or anything. Why does he have it up? The answer is simply because Patreon told me to put it up. This is a soft launch. This isn't anything where I was promising anyone perks by any particular period of time. And I've already said this publicly, so I'll say it here. I'm not going to be doing anything in regards to solid perks and or goals or anything with Patreon until probably the middle of February when I'm finally settled in from all this year-end stuff being over and I can finally start working on new projects. You know, like I said, there's things I want to work on like Project 7, new vlog series, but I can't get to that yet. I have to get through a few more weeks before I can get to that stuff. So understand, if you did pledge already to the Patreon page, no perks are coming immediately. We're still discussing what those perks are, and I would like it if everyone would go to thekingofhate.com. There is a thread there right there, Patreon perks discussion, and you could let me know what kind of stuff that you would like. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Number one, if you pledged and in the expectation of getting something in the month of January, I would actually ask that you withdraw your pledge. I'll say it publicly. Withdraw your pledge because I'm not ready. The only reason the page is up now is because Patreon asked me to. And I don't want to be dishonest and be like, I want to take your money if you were in the expectation you were getting something in January. It's not going to be ready, okay? We're still discussing it, and we had some really great ideas, actually. Unfortunately, one thing that looks like it's off the table is exclusive videos that are going to be up early for Patreon subscribers because unfortunately we already had people come out and say, oh, well, if Phil does that, I'm going to subscribe for like $1 and I'll just spam the link everywhere so people can see the video regardless. So of course you're going to have those kind of malicious people, and I was already kind of worried about that. So I said, you know what, that doesn't make sense. But what I am seriously considering is doing, for certain levels, there's actually goal levels that you can set. So if I reach a certain amount of Patreon support a month, I will do a special event that normally I wouldn't have done. And some things that have been tossed around, or do a game that I never would have played, or people have asked me to play it for years and I never played before because I really didn't have that much interest, but people are dying to see me play it. Oh yes, the two big ones that everyone's throwing around right now are Persona and Minecraft. Now I'm not saying these would be full playthroughs, but maybe me playing these games for a little bit to see what they are. You know, if you reach a certain goal, maybe I'll do that. Another thing is been maybe do a gameplay marathon where I could basically jump on stream and play a marathon of certain games, and it wouldn't be 24 hours or anything like that, but maybe a 5-6 hour marathon of me just playing games straight rather than, oh, it's a set playthrough. Maybe it's like, oh, I want you to see you play 4 games in this series, play them an hour each or something back to back. Things like that. Things that I've never done before. Those are the kind of things that people are talking about when it comes to Patreon. So again, these are just ideas. I need your input. And I really need more input because, unfortunately, now it's like the same dozen people keep suggesting stuff. And it's like you go in a circle. I need more outsider input on what kind of stuff you'd like to see on there, okay? So please post up on thekingofhate.com. I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can post up directly in that thread and let me know what you think, suggestions for perks and or goals set for the Patreon program. Again, I'll say this one more time. I'm not ready yet. Month of January, it was only there, set there because Patreon told me to, so no one else could steal the URL. It's kind of what they call a, oh God, a vanity URL. If you want a special URL, you need to get your page up. And there's no way, by the way, for me to disable donations. I can't. I can't say, oh, I don't want people to pledge yet. I can't do it. There's no way. There's no option to do that. So that's the deal with that. I'll be talking more about that in the near future once I'm ready to do stuff with it. But that's why you haven't heard me actively talking about it every day and asking for people to join, because I don't have any answers for you yet, all right? I'm working on it, and I need your feedback. So there, I hope that helped to clarify that whole situation, okay? All right. So outside of that, now let's talk about what's coming up this week and what I need your help with, you know, voting-wise and other stuff coming up in the near future, all right? Tomorrow is going to be my final daily stream of Dragon Age Inquisition. And what I mean by that is at this point, there's new releases coming out on Tuesday, so it's going to go on the back burner at least until later this week. Okay? Now, I'm near the end of Dragon Age Inquisition, which is good. If you've been watching the past couple of streams, there's only very few things left to do. I'm doing companion quests, which are very important. They're critical to the story development because you get to learn more about these characters who are in your party. And I'm doing basically story-based content and every once in a while a dragon fight, which people really enjoy the dragon fights, okay? That's really it. That's all that's left. So another few streams, I should be done with Dragon Age Inquisition. I know after such an insanely long playthrough, the last stream I actually exceeded 200 parts. And some people are wondering, will I actually exceed the 290-some parts? I think that just recently I did a game that was that long. We'll have to see. Excuse me. All right, so that's tomorrow's gameplay stream. I also need your help. This is your final chance, ladies and gentlemen, to nominate something for one of the funniest moments of 2014. Right now, over 60 people have posted on thekingofhate.com, some of them posting multiple moments of things that they felt were the funniest things that happened in 2014. Again, in the description of this video, I'm going to put the link to that thread. Please post up. This is it, because tomorrow, instead of doing a gameplay stream, a second gameplay stream, I'm not. Just like I've been doing in previous weeks, I'm going to be working on the year-end series, the funniest moments montage of 2014. And I'm going to be going through that thread, and I'm going to be picking the moments that I feel are the funniest or could fit into a montage and make sense. I understand there will probably be funny things that have like massive setup that won't make sense for a montage, but I'll do my best to try to get them into it. And I'm going to try to do that tomorrow night. I can't promise you guys that it's going to come out tomorrow, and the only reason I can't do that, quite honestly, is because my video editor is a piece of shit. And every time that I try to do something that's timed with multiple clips, with music running, it fucks up. I remember the last time I did a montage rather than a countdown for the funniest moments was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it really was a nightmare because the video editor was a piece of shit. Okay? So, I'm going to work on it. I'm not promising you that's for being released tomorrow night. Being completely upfront honest. I don't know. I will work on it tomorrow night. I will update everyone on my progress, but I don't know if that's going to be done tomorrow. If I don't get that done tomorrow, it will be coming out sometime this week when I finally have a chance to finish it. If anything, maybe later on in the week, I'll take some time to work on it, and I'll explain to you in this video how that's going to work, okay? All right, that's Monday. Tuesday, we've got 2 new releases. The first time that we've got 2 new releases since November, all right? And it's awesome because I'm excited for both, and this is why I need your feedback. The releases, just so everyone knows what they are, there's a Saints Row 4 expansion that's a standalone expansion called Gat Out of Hell. It's the final piece of content officially for Saints Row 4. After this, there will be no future content releases for the game. Seriously, I'm surprised because the last one was over a year ago. It was that Christmas-related DLC that they did. So I'm surprised there's even another one coming out. Pretty wild. And then there is Resident Evil Remake, which is the remake of the remake. Yeah, there's the original Resident Evil, then they remade that for the GameCube. Now they're remaking the GameCube version to a next-gen version with much better visuals, better graphics and controls, supposedly, and all new areas and stuff in the game, too. So I'm looking forward to that. Here's the thing about those playthroughs. They're not very long. Both of those games are probably at most going to be... I think the Resident Evil, you could beat it within 5 hours if you know how to do it. Probably, most people are saying it's probably around an 8-hour run-through. The DLC for Saints Row 4, no one even knows how long it is. It could end up being an hour. It could end up being 5 hours. Who knows? But it's a DLC. It's not going to be super long. You know what I mean? But I don't know what to play first. And what I've done is I've created a straw poll, which I will again post in the description of this video, where I need you guys to jump up on this straw poll and vote. Do you want to see me play Resident Evil Remake on my first stream on Tuesday, or do you want to see me play the Saints Row 4 DLC on first stream? What do you want me to focus on for my main gameplay stream on Tuesday, excuse me? And then there will be a second gameplay stream that will be the other game at night. So, yes, the return of 2 gameplay streams for the first time in a month starting this Tuesday, and that's going to be consistent for Tuesday and Wednesday. There'll be 2 gameplay streams, and we'll play it by ear and see how it goes, all right? So those 2 playthroughs, and of course, those videos will also be uploaded to DSP Gaming on those respective days, all right? Thursday. This is the day that's completely out of the ordinary for me, all right? I wasn't, you know, it's not anything that I would normally plan, but let me explain what's going on. For over a month now, I have a toilet in this house that's been busted. It broke. It was overflowing with water. I had to turn off the water. When my dad visited for Christmas, during the Christmas break when my parents were both here, he couldn't fix it. Basically said that when they did this toilet, they did it wrong. They put sealant on parts that shouldn't be, and so he can't even replace the thing that's supposed to be replaced. Better off to just get a new toilet. So that was actually part of the Christmas present my parents got for us, is they bought us a new toilet and even paid for the installation, which was awesome for that. I'd rather get something that's useful rather than something that's superfluous. So rather than get me clothes I don't need or give me gift cards to stores I won't really need to go to, give me a new toilet. And that was awesome for all of my parents, and I'm very appreciative that they did that for me for Christmas. It's getting installed this Thursday. The problem is, here's the deal. I usually stream, as you guys know, around 12:30 p.m. my time, Pacific time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. The installation is scheduled for any time between 12 noon my time and 4 p.m. So they could literally show up at noon and be out of here in an hour. They could show up at 4 p.m. and not be out of here till late at night. We don't know when they're showing up, and unfortunately, that's how these guys operate, is they only have a window of time that they can arrive, and unfortunately, it's the time when normally I would be working, all right? So what I've decided to do is this. I've decided to take the day off, per se, even though it's going to be quite the opposite. Here's what I mean. I won't be streaming, and you probably won't see any new videos from me that day. It's going to be a day of rest. But only for you. For me, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take that day to work on mailing out all of the giveaway items from the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway. Yeah, I know. How long has it been since that thing went to hell back in November when my website got destroyed, right? So I apologize for that. I've been waiting for the holiday season to end, and now I've been so busy with year-end stuff, I haven't had a chance to work on that. I haven't even taken my Christmas tree down yet. I'm actually going to try to do that tonight after I finish the weekend preview. That's how busy it's been here, okay? So I'm hoping that that day, while I'm waiting for this plumber to show up, I can work on that, get all the dimensions, and maybe even order boxes and shipping materials so that I can get those out within the next week or two. In addition to that, I'm going to take any extra time I have that day and work on the Funniest Moments montage if I didn't finish it on Monday, with the hopes that I can get that released for you guys by the weekend, all right? So even though you won't hear from me that day, you won't see from me, I won't be on stream, there will be no new gameplay, I'll be working on stuff all day for you so that it's not like you think that there's nothing, okay? But I will be returning on Friday, and I can't promise you what it's going to be because it's very simple. Did I beat the Saints Row 4 DLC on Tuesday and Wednesday? How far did I get in the Resident Evil Remake? I won't know yet. We'll have to see. And then Friday will be the continuation of what I haven't beaten. And then the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, as you know, I only do one gameplay stream a day, will be either the continuation of those or it will be the return of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, which whenever I do play it again, I am going to beat it. I am at the end of the game at this point. And the continuation of Dragon Age Inquisition, which again, another few small streams, and I'll probably beat that game too. So we're really coming to the culmination, the end of 2014's ongoing playthroughs, the beginning of new content for 2015, which is awesome, the end of the year-end series. Everything's going on this week. So much stuff going on this week, all right? And then last but not least, I do want to say this. I need your feedback on one more thing. I know I've already asked for feedback on 3 different things in this video. It's a lot, but I really do. One final thing. In 1 week from this Thursday, okay, this Thursday, nothing. I said I'm taking the day off because of what's going on here. 1 week from this Thursday, so that would be Thursday, January 29th. It's going to be the return of Ask the King. I have not done an episode of Ask the King, I believe, since it was either late September or early October of 2014. So it's literally been 3 months that have passed by, whoop, just like that. And I can't believe it's been that long since I did an episode of Ask the King, quite honestly. And I'm sure people have tons of questions saved up that they want to ask me. There is already a thread on the forums on thekingofhate.com. I know I've said this many times in this video, where you can post up your questions. I strongly urge you to do so. The more questions I have, the better of an episode of Ask the King it is. So I will put a link to that in the description of the video, where you can go right to the forums and you can post up your questions, and that way I'll have some extra time to review them, all right? And I'm really thinking that's going to be a great episode of Ask the King, okay? Now, the final thing, some people have been throwing out all these questions about, Phil, did you hear that this is coming out? Phil, did you hear that that's coming out? Phil, did you hear this? Phil. Because you remember a couple of weeks ago, I did a schedule update video for 2015, but it was very poorly populated because there weren't a lot of set release dates. What I would say is please continue to send me these questions, because guess what? That alerts me the games are coming out and I can answer you. So a few quick answers here. Am I playing Majora's Mask 3D when it comes out for the Nintendo 3DS? Yes, I am going to be playing it. I'm probably going to get the digital version at this point, because all reports are saying the game's like sold out. You can't pre-order it anywhere, but I know that it'll be digital, so I'll get it digital and we'll just do it that way. So yes, that will be the first Nintendo 3DS playthrough of the year, will be Majora's Mask 3D. And no, I never played the game before. I had friends who played it in high school, but I personally never played it, so I'm going to probably be fucking completely stumped at this game, okay? Am I playing the new Monster Hunter game that's coming out for the Nintendo 3DS? No, because number one, I have no interest in Monster Hunter. Number two, I believe, and I could be wrong, but don't you need the new 3DS to play it? And I'm not buying a new 3DS because that won't work with my 3DS that I just got to do capturing and streaming. So obviously that's out of there, okay? There's been a few other things here and there that people have been, you know, throwing about, saying, are you going to be playing? Right now, if they don't have a solid release date, I can't answer your question. I do know that there's, you know, from what I had in the schedule update, pretty much there's been no change, besides Majora's Mask and Monster Hunter, of 2 games that have solid release dates. I do know that some people asked me, will I be playing the new Kirby game coming in February? Now, when I did the schedule update, there was no date. I didn't find any that said Kirby had a release date. If there's a new Kirby platforming game coming out in February and it has a solid release date, I'll have to look into this. I want to play it. I like the Kirby games. I like both, what was it, Epic Yarn, and the one I did after that, I think I did that co-op with John Rambo? I think I did. They're fun games. They're actually more relaxing than anything else that I play, and I'm able to just sit back and relax. And people are like, geez, when Phil plays a Kirby game, it's like, it's a different experience. He's not swearing. He's like happy. Yeah, it's different because it's not frustrating. It's just more calming than anything else. So I am looking forward to that. If that is true, I am looking forward to playing that as well, okay? But again, please continue to send me all this information regarding new releases, and I'll address them as they come up, and hopefully we can get new release dates to put on my calendar. So I keep pointing, and my calendar's right there. Hopefully we can get those dates up there, all right? So, quick review, and then we'll end the week in preview because it's been a long one, jam-packed, okay? Number one, Grand Theft Auto 5 is on hiatus. It will come back eventually at the latest for heists when they're released for online. Number two, my Patreon account exists, but I'm not talking about it, and I'm not asking anyone to really pledge anything yet because it's not ready. It won't be ready until February, and I'm preemptively warning anyone who's, you know, pledged something for the month of January. Don't expect any perks or any goals or anything to be set up yet because they won't be until the month of February, so there's no misconceptions. I want everyone to publicly know that. Tomorrow, the continuation of Dragon Age Inquisition, and I'll be starting to work on the funniest moments montage. Please nominate those. Tuesday, 2 new games. Please vote on which game you want to see come first between Saints Row 4 Get Out of Hell DLC and the Resident Evil Remake. Wednesday will be those same games. Thursday, I'm taking the day off, but not really. I just won't be streaming or uploading any videos, but I'll be working on things like the year-end series, and I'll also be trying to get information and stuff together so I can finally mail out the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway winners items, which have been insanely delayed now because of everything that happened at the end of the year. Later this week, we'll be continuing on with the new games, and I will probably be going back to Kingdom Hearts and beating that, as well as Dragon Age Inquisition, alright? And I need your input for next week for Ask the King. So that's a hell of a lot. That's a huge mouthful of stuff to say, I know. That's why I knew this was going to be a jam-packed, info-loaded weekend preview. I hope you'll spread the word that this was a very important one, or at least, again, spread the information that I talk about. I don't even really care if anyone sits here for 25 minutes and watches me talk about it. As long as you have the information, that's all I care about. So if anyone asks, please spread the info. Thanks for a great week. The past couple weeks have been great streaming on YouTube, by the way. I've had great stream attendance. I've had lots of participation on every stream that I've done. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Thanks so much for that. I look forward to seeing you guys for the continuation of the games I've been playing, for the new games this week, for everything coming. Thanks, everyone, for your patience. Peace out. Have a good night. See you tomorrow for Dragon Age. See you for the new games this week. And I'll see you later. Go Seahawks! Not really.